This is JG Always on Topics. Thank you for viewing my channel. Leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into this. Okay, so I'm doing a video about Dewonna Bonner. So Dewonna Bonner was a player for the Indiana Fever. She signed with them this season. I forgot which month it was, but I know it was around this year. I'm gonna say February and March, between March and April. She signed with them. Anyways, she signed with them. Now, what happened was, it all started in a season where, people are saying, because they're getting all these good signings to the Fever, they are supposed to be championship bound. And there's an interview with Dewonna Bonner sitting next to Stephanie White. And Bonner told him, don't hold them up high to expectations about us going to a championship. We're just trying to wait till the season arrives and see where, how good we are. We're trying to see if we're good enough to be a championship team. We're not trying to be held to that high of a standard. So when the season comes around, our play will decide if we're a championship team or not. Now, Caitlin did an interview, and she told the press that they are trying to get to a championship. Now, from there, I realized that it's not gonna be a good fit for Bonner. I don't see no chemistry between her and Caitlin, because I don't think Caitlin appreciated or liked the statement that the one Bonner made about them being high, like how they shouldn't be held to a high expectation to win a championship. Now, starting the season, it started off good with the Fever, but they started going up and down, winning games, losing games, winning games, losing games. You would think that they supposed to starting off 8-2 or 9-2 with the roster they had, but it didn't. It's not turning out that way. They're barely a 500 team. Dewonna Bonner, she ends up losing her job with Lexi Hull. She's supposed to somehow got hurt. She ends up not. She ends up going MIA from there, and then it went from she's not interested in returning to the team. So they end up going ahead and waiving her. Now, I'm gonna tell you this: I respect Dewonna Bonner. I think she had a good career, but I can't have her back on this one. She had it coming. I'm gonna tell you why. Her and her fiance Elisa Thomas, they were on the same team. They were playing together for Connecticut Sun. When Clark arrived as a rookie, you know what I'm saying, they were aware of the hostility that was going on around the league with Caitlin's new fan base. You know what I'm saying? All the cyberbullying, all the constant hateful comments that they were making, bragging about Caitlin, making, Caitlin over everyone, and then disrespecting the lesbians or, black lesbians that hate, all kinds of names besides those. And it kept going on all season, to the point that Elisa Thomas, she did an interview, press conference, saying, she was never, all her years in a long career in the WNBA, she was never called the things that she was called before, like this year. So it shows you what kind of toxic, racist fan base that Caitlin Clark has. And Dewonna Bonner was aware of it because she was on Elisa's team. Like, she literally witnessed her fiance making that statement in a press conference. And for some reason, Dewonna decided to sign with the Fever. Now, her fiance, Elisa Thomas, she was supposedly interested by the Phoenix Mercury, but she wasn't going to the Mercury until Sophia Cunningham was gone. Now, Now, once Sophia Cunningham went to the sign with the fever, Alyssa Thomas went ahead and signed with the Mercury. You know, Alyssa Thomas is not with that racism, all that hate, derogatory towards women or lesbians and all that. So she was glad that Cunningham was gone. Now she is kind of baffled about Dewonna Bonner going to the fever, and as Bonner was released, Bonner said she wanted to go to another team like Atlanta Dream or Phoenix Mercury. They did an interview about Alyssa Thomas, and they asked Alyssa, how would you feel about Dewonna Bonner, your fiance, coming to the Phoenix Mercury? And awkwardly, Alyssa Thomas didn't have no answer. She just made a little awkward face. So it shows like something's not right. It's not looking good between those two. You know, and, and the fact that she knows that the one witnessed all this racism and all this hate that was going on from Indiana Fever fans. Well, the Clark fans, the ones who are new to basketball or whatever. Like Alyssa, like the one who knew about all this, and Alyssa expected her to be a little more smarter with her choice. But for her to go to Indiana Fever, she questioned her fiance ever since. So that's why she didn't answer much when they asked about Dewonna Bonner joining her with the Mercury. So Dewonna pretty much put herself in a situation where she's pretty much stuck all alone. She's out of work. She can't find a job in the WNBA. Um, now the real question is who's gonna pick her up? Who's gonna sign her? Chicago Sky need a wing. Um, from what I don't think Seattle Storm needs one. I think Atlanta Dream needs a wing. I think they good. Washington Mystics may need a wing. Um, Maybe LA Sparks. They probably need a wing. Who know? Who knows? But the way it's looking like, the way how it looks right now, I don't think Dewonna is gonna be signed by a team uh, right now. But hopefully sooner before the season is over with. But the question is, who should she sign with? Who's gonna sign her? What team will pick her up? What team needs to pick her up that's gonna fit her? Because it didn't work out at Indiana because she didn't fit that system. That system was all about Caitlin Clark, because it was a Caitlin Clark offense that was gonna run mostly on Caitlin, and the one did not fit that at all. So she's got to be at a team where she's gonna fit a system that's gonna make her comfortable to play her game. So if she does come off waivers, what team should she go to, or should she just go ahead and retire? If she, I would say now if she doesn't get signed by this end of the year, then I would probably call it a career, because now it looks like that no one's going to be interested in picking you up. So we're just going to have to move on from there. Well, gonna have to wish Dewonna Bonner the best of luck, and hopefully she'll find a team that's gonna want to give her a shot. Hopefully they'll see like she has 2 years left, and go from there. Well, guys, this is JG, always on topics, and I want to say I'm tired, and have a good day.